Hi, our week 3 science experiment is all about fingerprints. And I actually really like this experiment. I think it's pretty cool since I think at one point or another we've all sort of closely examined our own little fingerprints. Oh, that's too close. Well, anyways, you can look at your own. So for this experiment, we need a pencil, white paper, transparent tape, and a magnifying lens. All we need to do to look at our fingerprints is take a pencil and really get some good scratches. Let's see if that's good. So we want to use a graphite pencil, really make some good scratches on a piece of paper, and then we're going to start with our left hand. If we're right-handed, it'll be easier if we use our left hand. Swap if you're left-handed. But anyways, I'm right-handed, so I'm going to press my left finger onto the pencil marks. I'm going to push down. When I lift up, I don't see a whole lot. Let's see if I can get anything on the tape, otherwise I might need to change my pencil. So you put the tape across your finger, and then you carefully lift it up by the edges, and you put the tape on the paper. And you get your fingerprint. And you can look at the image. I'm going to get a little more, try to get a couple more scratches out. You kind of want to get it to where it's a little bit flaky, that you could really maybe rub your finger around. I maybe didn't rub it around quite as much the first time there. That looks much better. So we're going to try this again. Oh, we should probably try to keep our fingerprints to the very edges, so as we're not getting two images. Okay. So rip off a little piece of tape and apply it again. This is going to be a much better image over your fingertip. Kind of rub it down or push it down, lift up the tape, and now we can put it down. Oh, that's a much better image. How cool. Okay, so we're going to do this for all 5 of our fingertips. And then the real point is we're going to look at our fingerprints. We're going to look at it under the magnifying glass, and we're going to study them, and we're going to see what's the same and what's different and what our patterns might be. 3 really common patterns of fingerprints are arch, loop, and swirl. Arches are just that. They kind of look like really tiny arches, kind of like that. Loops are a little bit loopier, something like that. And swirls are a little bit swirlier. There's different kinds of arches and loops and swirls, but basically those are the 3 patterns that we're going to look for. Every person has fingerprints that are unique to themselves. Your fingerprints actually develop in the womb many months before you're born. They're in the underlayer of the skin. They're in the dermis layer of the skin. The epidermis is the outermost layer. It's the layer that might get cut, that might get burned, that might fall away at some point. But because our fingerprints are in the dermis layer underneath, when the top layer of skin gets harmed, if it falls away and comes back, our fingerprints actually remain intact. Our skin is pretty smooth, but the palms of our hands and our fingertips and our feet have these ridges. It gives us a little more grip and a little more traction for those parts of our bodies on our hands and our feet. So yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at, is the dermis layer versus the epidermis layer. Everyone's fingerprints are unique. Fingerprints don't go away unless you damage the dermis layer, but you can absolutely damage your epidermis layer by cut or burn or what have you, and have your fingertip layer your fingerprint remain intact. They're all extremely unique. Fingerprints can be hereditary in terms of loop or swirl or arch. But I think this will be really fun for the kids to examine their own prints. And just, like I said, make sure that you get a really good scratch on your paper and really rub down your finger to get a nice darkened print that will be a little more visible on the tape. The kids can have a really good time looking at their prints and seeing what's similar between their own fingertips and their friends. All right, have a great week. Bye-bye.